Actually, you know what? We're not going to do music this morning. Hello, everyone. Last few streams have been kind of spotty, and I forget I said that first one. I try not to make a policy doing that. Last few streams have not had a good chance to explain that what happened because my wife was over for the holidays, and when I'm doing this, it's early in the morning Central Time, U.S. I don't want to wake her up. So that's that. Right now she's back at work. So that's not much of a problem. What are we doing here? I thought we were supposed to be a werewolf. Oh, son of a bitch. We is. But I noticed that I was really, really, really tense. I was like, okay, I just gotta no. Sorry, what's happening is I have an XP Pen Artist 12. It's like an extremely old model. And it's wonky in various ways. Today's way is I got the pen over the actual image on the actual tablet, but for some reason that pen thinks that the cursor should be on my main screen, and I can't get it to see the light, as it were. So what I have to do is, typically at least, is turn off the program. Not the computer itself, just the program. Hopefully that'll work. If not, then I will have to restart the computer and do this stream all over again, which I just may not feel like doing. Okay, cool. Houston, we have liftoff. There we go. So just a silly girl in a silly pose with her silly guns. That's all. Because the alternative is this shit. Hey, look at this. Just looking at this makes me want to give up the whole project. I'm not gonna do that, but just like making me use my awareness skills that I'm learning with meditation. I'm reading Mindfulness in Plain English. Uh, I'll put the name in the chat. Gun Ara Tana. Oh, Ante Ganaratana. That's the author. And as to why I'm reading it, I'm trying to learn more about meditation to manage my depression. Boy, was it hard yesterday. So, let's see. My wife works at a camp, basically a children's camp. You know what? I'm gonna make a new file. My wife works at a camp, a campfire camp in Granbury. I'm in Pleasanton. For those of you who don't know, Granbury and Pleasanton are in Texas. And any two towns in Texas, the state of Texas in the United States of America, can nearly days of driving apart. Like it's more practical to hop in a plane sometimes to get from one city to another in Texas. The entire state, um, west to south, or west to east, is at least an 8-hour drive. She is 4 hours from me, so she actually lives on the camp. And this was by design. This isn't a bad thing. I want her to have a job that actually matched her degree for once, which is forced recreation. And in order to do that, you gotta work at a camp or a state park. And they are not plentiful. Well, they are plentiful in Texas. There's a lot of them, but like I said, there's a lot of acreage in Texas. So they'll be far apart. We're just going to start this all over again. We're just going to do some bullshit. Fuck this up. Yeah. So what was I saying? Oh, you're starting now. I see. It's early in the morning. But so she lives over 240 miles away from me normally. She was home for the holidays. And that was fun. And then she left yesterday. She had to do. And And when I first had her doing this job, I thought to myself, oh, the freedom I will have at, at my house to play video games and do what I want. Yeah, I went wrong. I do have a great deal of freedom, but I think I underestimated how much I would miss her and my reaction to having an empty house. I thought I was a guy that really, really liked solitude, and I mean, there's still plenty of evidence for that. Like, I actually get a little overwhelmed even with just her being here sometimes. I need to run and hide, but apparently it's not ideal for it to be 24 hours at a time because my thoughts get to me. But here's the other really cool thing about this choice that we made. It enabled me to actually be exposed to those nasty, horrible, depressing thoughts, so I can actually finally deal with them. It was basically after 2 years of her being gone that I finally understood that I was suffering from a great deal of shame. Yeah. Uh, and shame that was pretty much not warranted or in any shape or form either. So, you know, and a lot of psychiatrists, especially, make this distinction. But when I'm saying shame, I of course mean to a point uh, guilt over things I've done wrong, but the shame's more fundamental than that. It's I think I am wrong, made wrong in some way. You know, like a gay person in the closet or something like that, which I mean, somewhat am that. Hmm. And yes, my wife is a woman, but I do enjoy dildos, basically. Might as well just say that. Oh Lord, probably should private this chat. Alright, there's the end of that. Which itself is pretty eye-opening. You know, I shouldn't be ashamed of stuff like that, at least not in 2024, although God does say in the Bible that it's not necessarily a good thing, and at the same time, I kind of have an intuitive sense that it's not exactly what I think it is. I find it so shameful, and furthermore, you know, dildos are definitely not actual people. Did I mention we were gonna fuck shit up? I certainly did, which is what we were doing. Oh, it's on the background. Oh, Lord. Good morning. That's okay. I can just make another background layer like I usually do. really matter that much anyway because it's a very initial drawing. Yeah, I am actually done. Fucking shit. Sorry, chat. Very frustrated this morning. And even that little thing that just happened, like, I'm a failure. It's just silly. And I know that's silly. I know it's fundamentally silly. Me to think I'm worthless just over, not actually selecting a color. Ink Imp. There's nothing to blame. There's no one to blame. It's just I went to select color and I didn't poke a thing in the way that it wants to be poked. Thus, the color didn't select, and I drew black. The size of the deal, the emotion I put to it in any way, shape, or form. But the kind of shame I deal with doesn't care about this feeling. Certainly does not care about facts. All it cares about is trying to punish me as harshly as it possibly can. Oh, in other news, weird. It's gonna be a good old HP Victus 15 from 2022. And hopefully you'll be able to run some pretty cool games. It's actually sort of something that I've always dealt with. I actually remember being really, really excited to play Medal of Honor way back in the day. That was like the World War II FPS before COD. And on the computer I initially had it on, it would not fucking run at all. I remember just thinking, I can't have anything good. And it's not like I was poor. It's not like we didn't get a better computer that eventually ran it, because I did complete the game. It was good. At least on easy mode I did. Did I do it on hard mode? I might just do it on normal difficulty. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Initially, that I had thought, I looked at the back of the fucking box, and of course it says, oh, 8 gigs of RAM is fine. And maybe 8 gigs of RAM is fine, because this HP Victus 15 has 8 gigs of RAM, but it actually has a video card in it. Like a real one. And I imagine since it was released in 2022, games that were released in 2021 are probably fairly safe to play on it. I imagine. I don't know. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050, 12th gen. Intel Core i5. I got the i5 one because it was cheaper by quite a bit. 8 gigs of RAM, 512 gigabytes of solid state hard drive, which I don't suppose really matters for performance that much. And enhanced thermals, whatever that means. Pumpkin time. Now, at least I literally blocked in Max, our werewolf here. Still haven't started that game, by the way. Still have not started that game. And that's my dove, my one dove, because I don't know where the other one went. It's the kind of thing I'm ashamed about, I had doves years ago, and I had let them out, and one of the dogs we had at the time ate them. I'm kind of thinking that's what happened here. because the cage is open and I didn't know it was open. And that's why I have to deal with this shame and guilt stuff. I'm afraid to say it's the primary fraud of me, but and I know it's not the only thing that makes me depressed. But it's certainly there. Certainly there. All right. Bye-bye.